And welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. It's Sunday at 10:30. It must mean only one thing. It's In the Driver's Seat right here on YSN with the Boomhauer Bandit himself, and he brought some friends with him. It is Corey Renforth. Corey, do you want to introduce him, or do we want to wait for a second here?
This is Jim Good,
the owner
Goods Raceway.
of Goods Raceway. This
is Teddy Williams of the Williams Racing family. I guess it seems to run deep over there. The more I learn about it, it's like, Jesus, these guys have a whole team of people that drive race cars.
So Teddy is the driver of the 818 car?
Yeah,
818.
So,
how'd things go?
I got friends in low places, as Garth Brooks said. Last night I got 4th, 6th overall because we had Chargers there. I'll take it. The big difference. Last week, 6th place, I'm the worst goddamn driver you ever damn seen. Shouldn't be out there on track with people. Now 6th place, I'm like, yeah, that's a pretty good night. I don't know what. Just I guess it was a different mood of things. Like I said, there was kind of a black cloud that night after that wreck with Luke, and it just kind of spread. But yes, go. Yeah, we're doing a show, so you gotta be quiet.
Welcome to live.
Welcome. This is what happens when you got kids every weekend. But
overall, things went well for you.
Yes. Yeah, I was keeping up with everybody. I wasn't running laps and everybody pulling away from me. I'm driving this thing the same damn way I always drive it. Maybe that's a bad thing, according to what Jim tells me when we watch his videos. But I was right there with everybody, so I wasn't kicking myself over being I assume that car's a good car, and anything that goes bad is all driver, 100% driver negligence.
That's it. Jim just agrees with him. Says,
the judging eyes here.
That's my brother's old car.
so anything, I figure every time that car doesn't win, it's just because it has a terrible driver in it. And that's just my assumption.
Well, the driver got a year older yesterday.
Yeah.
Happy belated birthday, buddy.
Thank you.
A birthday race. What is? Is there anything special about yesterday? Did anybody sing happy birthday to you at the track or anything?
Yeah, they got done a bunch, and I was given a donut and stuff. I'm like, I don't really eat sweets. I don't need to eat sweets. Clearly. So I don't eat anything before races. So I did eat it after the races, and that was it was from that White House Fruit Farms.
Ooh.
That was about the most sugar I think I've ever put in my mouth. I was like, diabetes in one swing here.
We know we're not getting a sponsorship from White House Fruit Farm now.
If you like sugar, you're the people for it. I'm just not a sugar person.
You're craving diabetes. You're on the right track.
It hit me. I turned into Wilford Brimley real quick. Got the diabetes.
Let's do the official intro. Jim Good to the right, immediate right of Corey. He is the owner of Goods Raceway. And obviously, we're going to get into a lot, Jim, with you and why it's so important to have this for everybody, the racing family, as we've talked over the last a couple months or so here on In the Driver's Seat. And Teddy Williams, driver of the 818 car, repping United Volleyball, which I dig. We're big fans of United Volleyball here at YSN, so pick the right shirt.
He knows the coach a little bit, so.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so Teddy, we'll start with you. Let's talk about why racing is so important to you, and especially at Goods Raceway.
We started my dad started racing back in 97, and I've been going ever since. Then when I was 16, I got a car, and ever since then, just one thing after another. Don't miss it every week there. And going to Goods, you can't beat going to a track 20, 30 minutes up the street. The next closest track, you're driving 2 hours.
Right. What makes Goods so, personable? We talk about it. I know the answer I'm looking for. It's the family that is all the racers and their families. What's the excitement when you go on a Saturday night? What's going through your head?
You never know what the outcome's going to be at Goods. It's a driver track. It's a very hard and technical track to go to. Mm-hmm. You got to be a good driver to be able to finish up there. up in the front.
See, why am I there, Corey?
Yeah.
Well, every turn's different.
Yeah.
You got to
That's
set
it.
your car up to be neutral all the way around it. So you got to know what you're doing to get around the track.
Yeah. All right, let's move it over to you, Jim. I mean, let's talk. See what happens when you speak up.
I know.
You get the microphone time. All right, so let's talk about. I mean, a few years ago, this track was out of business. Correct? There was no way to get nobody to go there. Nobody, and then you step up with your family, and now you go.
Well,
How did that happen?
No, bad question.
bad question. Someone bought it, ran it into the ground. We ain't gonna bring up the name.
Sure.
I had some people that were going to buy it, planned on buying it. We went to court. No one showed up. I went to the track with Paul Miller. He got it back through the courts, and we were pulling the well. And he says, "You need to own this." They've always teased me years before. Everyone used to tease me that I was buying a track, and there ain't no way I'm buying no track.
Yeah.
And he threw me an offer, and I like, nah. Went home and I presented it to my wife, and she says, "Well, why not? Everyone said you should own it." I'm like, how in the heck are we going to do that? And we did. She made it happen. My wife, Jen, she made it happen. Without her, it would never happen. So we took it over and we announced it. I forget what day it was. We announced it on Facebook that we were the owners, and everyone stepped up. We had a meeting and we expected like 20, 30 people to show up, and we overpacked the building with people that showed up, and everyone stepped up and helped out. And I think it was a month and a half from owning it, we had our first race, and it had been overgrown for almost 2 years.
Oh my goodness.
We actually brush hogged the track. That's how bad it was overgrown. And
Andrew Carlson says Jen for MVP.
yes.
Chiming in.
Yeah.
And Jen's watching right now. She's obviously she's out there. She says Nick actually said, "Look at these goons," and then Jen said, "For real." So
Three Stooges.
all right. So now
I'm the
you
bold one.
now you own a track.
Yeah.
First thing going through your mind, what do we do? How do we get people there? How do we make this a success?
Honestly, when I raced there,
Mhm.
it was family. I've raced at all kinds of different things, and I've never been to a track that had, if you broke, it was everyone came to you to help you get on. I mean, from different classes. And when I told my wife when we wanted to do this, I said, I have to have that back. We are a family. That's how it has to be. I'm not doing the fighting and all that crap. And it did. I mean, it flowed. Everyone came in. I don't know how to explain it. It just was amazing that the people that came back to our track. I mean, because everyone was traveling, a lot of people. He called me and said, "I got 2 cars. I want to buy it." I said, and this before I knew I was buying it.
Yep.
We were buying the track. I said, "Hang on to them. If you don't need the money, hang on to them." And he goes, "Okay." And then next thing I know, I'm buying the track. He goes, "Well," as he would say, "Really glad I didn't sell them." So, I mean, it just, I don't know. It just was awesome. It's gone way beyond what I ever expected so fast. I mean,
It's been 2 years, correct? This is
our second season. Yep. Yes. And last night, I think we had 90, you could ask my wife. I think we had 93 cars.
Wow.
And that, so it was a good turnout. We were running out of parking. So we got to get help with some bulldozers we got 31 acres there. So we need to make some more parking.
That's phenomenal. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay. So business owner to business owner, there's a lot of things that nobody tells you when you own something like that. What was the biggest thing that caught you by surprise from a ownership standpoint when things got back into season?
As an owner.
Was it I mean, I love seeing it because I know exactly. I mean, you guys came in here after a Friday night of having stuff on in here, pick up your trash, put your seats back, take care of it as if it were yours kind of thing. And I think that for me, that was the big thing is I didn't realize that I was going to be a maid as well as an owner sometimes. What was the biggest thing for you that people were like, people tell you, or maybe they wouldn't tell you, so you would buy the track instead of second guessing yourself?
A lot of people that are business owners have come to me, I don't know how you do it.
Yeah.
And they said the saying is at the track, buy a track, it'll be fun.
Yep.
That's our saying. And I don't want to say this in a bad way. I know I run a daycare sometimes.
Yep.
I mean, and it's not, I'm not saying it bad, but there's a lot of things that I never would have dealt with. I had an issue I had to deal with yesterday before our driver's meeting that I never expected. Never even seen it and didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
I mean, the surprises or the questions. I had one gentleman come up to me yesterday about a situation that happened on a track. I went, I never thought of that. So I had to come up with a solution to solve it and do it. And I had less than 5 minutes to take care of it. Yeah. But afterwards, it's part of the game. Yep. It's part of the show. It's part of the job.
You're a fireman. It's what you are. You just put out fires. Yeah.
Hey, people go, man, you're worn out. And I'm worn out come Saturdays because I do it all myself. I don't have help during the week.
I can take a wild stab that there's a lot of race car people, tough exteriors, a little soft on the inside, maybe. Like a little sensitive.
There is.
M&Ms, they got the hard shell and they're soft on the inside.
Yeah. I don't know how, because it seems like you probably have the same thing. Once you own something, there's no gray area in your life. If people love you or hate you, it's like,
yeah, you're very polarized.
There's no like, people are just like, yeah, he's okay. It just seems like, whoa, especially with the internet now, people leave this comment. Yep. It's like, this is
and
the
we
worst
see
thing.
everything.
Yep.
We see everything.
Or this is the best thing, or this is the worst thing.
But that's the thing is as an owner, you can't always respond to everything. Just because there's something out there doesn't mean you have to.
Oh, I want to, but I get shut
down. Exactly,
right?
That's a quick lesson in ownership is because somebody says something about you, good, bad, or indifferent, doesn't mean that it's almost like a trap sometimes. Because you sit there and you're like, man, that's not exactly how it went down. But you just kind of you back it off. All right, so we've talked about the thing that nobody told you that maybe would stop you from buying a track. What's the one thing that keeps you coming back week after week, day after day, because it's part of your DNA? It's something you love, and no matter what happens on the left hand, the right hand's always telling you, remember why you started this in the first place.
People. It's the people. I do it, and like yesterday, I thought it was going to be a real bad track. I worked my butt off on it because all the rain we had, and that track came out way beyond. And it's the people, and when they come up and say they love the track or they do it at the finish line, in their interview, that's the thing is I'm doing it, and the satisfaction is everyone's happy. It's the people. The whole thing is all the people. I love the people. I'm a people person, and that's the best part of it is giving them a playground to play. And,
Rob Greer says the fans.
The fans are awesome. We have some great, and they like to bust on me because I get on the microphone. But the fans are great. But they're in that group. It's the people. It's everything. It's my employees. It's the staffing. It's everything.
If you have questions for Jim, Teddy, or of course the Boomhauer Bandit himself in the 43 car, you can either chime in on the chat box or let's get this up. You can call in Corey's favorite 330-886-0813, 330-886-0813.
It's only because I'm afraid that the other person on that line is going to have the same last name as me, and it's going to get real ignorant real quick. It's like,
all Renforth's welcome on the hotline.
and like,
Corey,
I had Nick. Nick, he's probably mad at me last night. I'm getting ready to go. I was having some battery issues, so Jared had to push start me every time. So I'm putting straps on. I look up and there's I'm like, who's these people running back at me? Like, it was Nick, Taylor, and Kelly. They're like, you definitely need to quit parking back there. Like, because they were pretty winded after that whole long jog back there. Because, like, is it going to start? I'm like, yeah, I got her fixed. It had a battery terminal issue. It's kind of like.
You got to work on it.
Yeah.
Not just wash it. You got to work on it.
Well, we got baby steps. Remember when I wasn't washing it and you said, man, this thing's bound up. You probably might want to
Oh,
spray.
yeah. I stepped on it. It didn't come back up.
He like stepped on it. It's like, and it didn't even move. It was like, and then he's like, yeah, that's supposed to like go to the ground, man. He's like, this is way too tight. No wonder it's hopping around.
Rob says all at the back, all the way at the back. So,
if he puts they're going to be real pissed if he extends this parking lot. I'll be on the tree line back there. I told him, I was like, hey, eventually, if he gets this all the way back there, I'm going to put more miles on my race car driving up to the track than I do out on the track. It's going to be wacky.
Jim, you have racers of all shapes and sizes, all, beginner to experienced, and you have kids out there. What is it like for you to see these kids and adults at some point go from beginner to experienced racers and see them at some form in their life or at some point in their life, just, start as a beginner and end up with a checkered?
The kids are the whole heart of everything. I've watched the kids start in the junior sprints and now they're running the mod lights or the dwarf cars and that. There's one particular, Cody Stillion. Mm-hmm. I raced go-karts years ago as a flagman at Barberton Speedway. And he wouldn't go on the track. And I said, I'll give you $1. He was 5 years old. He says, no, give me a 5. So I gave him 5 and we got him on the track. And to come full circle, 15 years later, he's at the track running a junior sprint. And now he's running a mod light and he's a heck of a driver. He's a competitive driver. Yeah. He's good and he'll take that chance. To see that, I'm just using him as an example because I've known him for so long. And now
he won the Gump Memorial last year.
Yeah, he won the Gump Memorial last year. And to see he's got a younger brother that's starting out. And he gets on practice nights, he gets in a mod light with a 1000 in it, and the kid's
8 or 9.
8 years old. And he's wheeling a 1000cc mod light. The kids are I don't know the right word to say.
They're like the future of it.
They are the future of it, but to see them progress. Well, when he started, he was out to lunch.
He's still a kid.
And he's progressed. I mean, he's come a long, long way in such a short time. I mean, 2 years. And that to see them grow, and it's not even just the little kids. It's the drivers that begin and how they progress. And they come to me and ask them, Luke, that was in the big wreck last week.
Yep.
Came to my track on a practice day, 10 years old, I think, or something like that. And I said, how's the track? And he goes, loose over there, tight over there. At 10 years old, I'm going, whoa, wow, 10 years old. The kids are great. Yeah. The kids are just amazing. And I get cookies from Olivia every week. So, I mean,
for you, what's the best part? Like when you lay your head down at night on a Saturday night, put all that work in through those 6 days, and you got Sunday, which I'm sure is probably a work day for you as well. What's the best part of all of this for you, Jim?
Think about the whole night in general and going, that was a good night. And I keep on, my wife, we did it. That's in every Saturday night laying down. We did it. That's what I think. We got this. We ain't going nowhere. All we need to do is grow, baby steps on everything. Not going into debt. We ain't doing none of that stuff. Yep. We're not going to go crazy. And we have the backing of all their drivers and the families and the spectators. I mean, we get awesome compliments, and I like seeing that, the reviews. And people will just message me out of the clear blue or text me. Nice track last night. Thanks a lot. The feedback is awesome.
Yeah, it's really interesting because, people go into businesses for different reasons, right? And you and I kind of cut from the same cloth. I didn't get into this for necessarily the money side of it. I got into it because I was passionate about sports, passionate about kids, passionate about these schools. It sounds like you were kind of in the same boat. You're passionate about these racers. You want to give them a home every Saturday night that they can do what they love, which is I admire that. I admire that very much, and that's kudos to you and your wife on doing that, because right here we have 35 people tuned in. This is the highest we've had, Corey, and you've grown the sport through our media outlet.
Because I'm here.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's definitely.
That's it. See, if we just bring in 15 of you guys, we'll just keep adding. But
line them up at the door.
Honestly, it's one of those things where, not everybody knows about Goods Raceway.
Still,
right now.
people in Deerfield don't know.
Yeah, which is crazy.
We need to get it pushed, and that's why we try to push it as much as we can. We got shirts.
Yep.
We got all kinds of apparel. You can call in. We'll get you anything, whatever we have.
Yep.
And like you were just saying, there ain't no money in it. We ain't doing it for money.
Nope.
That's for daggone sure. Every penny goes back into the track and equipment and everything else. It's the best. I wish I could race more.
Yeah.
I wish as an owner, it's not that part. I wish I could get in the car and race with the guys.
Yeah.
Because I raced with them years ago, and I would like to be back out there. And I do once in a great while. Last night I tried and got taken out the first lap. But it's just the love of it. It's a great play. The people.
Was last night the Memorial?
Yeah.
How did that's a very special race to you. How did that go?
No, the feature was awesome. It was a great race. We had 29 cars show up for the race, which is a record for us in that class. It didn't go the way I wanted. First lap of my heat race, I got taken out in the first turn, and that blew a tire out and busted a bearing. I think it bent the axle, but and that was Gump's car, so that upset me. The guy that did it felt terrible, and it was a racing deal. It was totally racing. I told him, don't even worry about it. It's no big deal. And that way I got to sit and watch the race too. That way I wanted to watch the race. But the night, all in all, I think we dropped the checkered flag. 11-19 was the final checkered flag of the night.
Wow.
So with everything going on and putting the classics and Chargers together, the Gump Memorial, the after photos and everything, 11-19. It was real good. It was a great race. Marlene was there. The Gump family was there. Dennis did a nice speech, which was Gump's son. It went really good. I'm real happy with it, and we'll do it again next year. Hopefully get more sponsors for the race.
That is awesome to hear. We have a question coming in from Ray Durr. He says, Jim, congratulations on a great year. 3 exclamation marks. So it must be a great year. My question is, I know we have some racing left to go, but do you have any thought on any changes for next year or any different classes or changes to the facility? Keep up the great work.
We're trying to get people to get us some bulldozers. Like I said, we don't have the money to go renting equipment like that. It's a lot of money. We want to expand. I got telephone poles there. We want to put more lights in the pits. We're going to put 6 telephone poles down the back straightaway, put lights on the back straightaway on the outside of the track, better viewing. My goal is to take the infield down so it's a better view for the spectators. We are changing a few of the rules. The Charger class next year, I'll announce it now, will be allowed to have 1000s in their cars. Stock, 08 or previous to 08, stock, no spec motors or no Crutchfields or Yoshimura or none of that. It'll be all stock motors, which will make that class, because we're the only track that runs the 750 in a dwarf car.
Yeah.
Everywhere else in the United States runs 1000s. I have people that want to come, but then they have to run with the Mod Light class, and they don't want to do that. So now we're opening that up for guys to come from other states that want to come to race our racetrack, have a class that they can fit right in and be competitive. So
I like it.
I think it's a big step for that class, because the Chargers and Classics now are almost exactly the same.
Yeah.
And so it'll give an option.
Only finished behind 2 of them last night. I was like shocked. It was lap 10 or so for us all weekend.
That's all it started.
I was like, oh, I was like, what took you so long, bud? Like, usually I'm like, lap 2, I'm waiting for him. Like, oh, it was a while. I was like,
Jen says we want to start having mini trucks bi-weekly, get them built. So,
Oh yeah, yes, I have a mini truck, and I actually am going to take it to Wayne County and race the 24th, I think, of September.
all right.
I'm going to take it down and race with the boys. The mini trucks, they ain't real fast, but they are the funnest thing to drive. Yeah, I mean, they're fun. We'd like to do a bi-weekly with them.
Yeah.
And so that's a class that we would like to do. See, I'm glad she's watching.
See, we got a lot of people watching right now.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed. See, Jim, you take credit for it, man. I think Teddy's got something to do with it. Teddy, we don't want to neglect you over there in the corner. How long have you been in racing? I know you said it's kind of running your family. How long has it been for you since you stepped behind the wheel?
I think I got in it about 10 years ago. I think 2011 when I got my first car. Got it off of Jason DeRocha. And then after that, it was just getting a newer car. And all the way up to last year, I built a brand new Mod Light. And then this year, I converted it over to a dwarf car for a memorial car for my grandpa that passed away. He always told me every time if I didn't win in a Mod Light that I needed to be back in a dwarf car. So that was my tribute to him, going back into that class.
I love it. When you look at all the different raceways, goods excluded in this question, where's the one place you would love to just throw the pedal down?
It's hard to say. There's a lot of good tracks. I mean, one of the ones that I liked a lot is Midway. I think that's down in the Zanesville area.
Never been there. I don't.
But it's almost the same size as Goods, but it's banked and it has a lot of bite in that track. I mean, it's a fun track.
What keeps you coming back week after week after week?
It's just, I don't know. I took a couple weeks off earlier this year, and I was just thinking, I'm like, man, I should be at the racetrack. What am I doing at the track?
Is it tough to have, like, those nights have to be tough for you? Like, okay, I need a night off, and then you realize, what am I doing here? Like, I belong at the track. What are you doing instead? Like, my wife always like, why are you not doing what you love? What are you doing instead? Like, my answer is usually sleeping. But
He should be cleaning the garage.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like, I'll be like, oh, I don't want to race tonight. And then about 5:30, 6 o'clock rolls around. I'm like, man, I definitely should have gone to the track.
Unbelievable. Jim, I know you want to get back in the seat a little bit. I mean, what's better for you? Is it being able to watch these guys race, or is it the adrenaline of being in that chair?
I was told by a bunch of people, happy Memorial Race. I raced that race, and I forget where I started, but I come up through, I think I was in 4th place. I pulled off the track with, I think, a lap to go or 2 laps to go.
Yeah.
I didn't want to take their money. I mean, I felt bad. I don't know why. I'm that way. A lot of people yelled at me. I should have finished the race and just forfeited my winnings and that, because I'm the owner. I don't want to take nothing. I will never, ever take nothing. But they said I was so stressed before because I was having a bad track day to get this track together. They said after I come off the track after that, I was a totally different person. I was relaxed. It's relaxing. Honest to God, if you get out of that car, when you're done with that car, it's like, me, it's a stress relief.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just fun. When I first started, I said, I just pretend there's cops chasing me.
I got a question, and it pertains to that race. So usually you spectating as the owner, a wreck happens, you're like the first guy. You're on a 4-wheeler, you're heading to it. Now, Taylor Sukon gets in a big mix-up. Are you like, all right, I got to get there first, like, are you still in that mode, or are you just like the rest of the drivers, stay in the car, let these guys take care of it? Or
it's hard for me to stay in the car.
You're battling it, like you want to get there.
I don't want no one hurt.
There.
I'm a very safety. I'm strict on my safety equipment. Mm-hmm. My guys know what to do. Fire extinguishers, everything. Yes, when there's a wreck, and
you're on the track, right?
It's hard to stay in the car. Well, a couple weeks ago, I was strapped in the car. We had an incident. I actually unstrapped. I don't even know what it was. I was strapped in a car, and I got unstrapped and jumped out of the car. And I'm running around with my helmet on. And
I think that was that compact wreck.
Yes, the compact. You're right. Yeah, I had my helmet still on. I was on my four-wheeler going out to the track. I had my helmet and gear on. That's me. I want to make sure everyone's okay. I don't want no one hurt. Some people complain or bitch about the safety equipment. I don't care. The guy that didn't want to wear a neck restraint that day is the one that was in the wreck, and he texted me the next day and said, "Thank you so much for making me wear that." He goes, "I'm sore, but I would have been in a lot worse shape," because he got nailed hard right into the wall, and he thanked me. And that's just one incident that I got thanked on the safety requirements I make.
Where did you learn to run a raceway?
The day I bought it.
That's all that is okay, because
I knew nothing.
Okay, because
I didn't know nothing about
I didn't
dirt.
know if you'd kind of done this before or
Nothing. I knew nothing about dirt. I had no idea what to do with the dirt. I did that track most of the first year with a 1941 Ford 9N with a back blade. I did that track.
wow. Wow, that's impressive.
It
because
was-
usually, in some capacity, a person knows what to do when
I
they
knew
get
nothing.
it. Good for you.
Nothing.
Great for you. And the safety end of it, I mean, that's a lot of reading. That's a lot of off the books, ownership that you have to do, because technology keeps getting better and better and better, and you want your guys to be safer and safer and safer. So hats off to you, man. That's phenomenal. Corey, we have. Well, we're in overtime here. We're in extra laps,
I knew it would be.
and that's fine. We got nothing but time.
We got to get into the significance of the 818 number. If there's any meaning behind that, like 43 things is family thing.
Well, back when my dad first started racing, he was 88. And then he ended up changing his number to 48. So when I started racing, I went to 88. Then I was like, man, I really like the look of a 3-digit number. I want to do AAA, but Joey Graylack, he had AAA, so I couldn't do it. So I said, well, I'll just put a big 1 right in the middle of it. And that's how I got it.
I love it.
So it's just the family number kind of.
I never knew the reason. I never knew the reason with that.
That's this is my favorite question on any of these. All right, Jim's number 31. So what's your significance behind that?
Real quick story.
Steve Mix was just like, nothing.
I pretended I was sick when I was a young kid, went to Stowe BMX track, and I put 13 on a paper plate. They said that was an unlucky number. So I switched them around. And 31.
That's wild. That's the same story I have.
Yep. 31 was that number. My address was 1231 Lincoln Avenue. My son was born on 1231.
Oh my goodness.
And to believe it or not, after we purchased the property, there's 31 acres at the track.
Yeah, I'm a 31 guy. So my freshman year, my mom was an Omar Vizquel fan. So she said, hey, take 13. So I took 13. I had a terrible year, awful year. And because it was 13, I just went, well, if I had a bad year with 13, the next year I was 31. And it was the best year of my life. So I took 31 everywhere I went. So that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Well, it's crazy.
What are you giggling about?
It's just funny. You guys are nuts, man.
Hey, listen, you got to take ownership of your number, right?
Heck, I mean,
you didn't get it from Richard Petty.
No. Like I said, I kind of thought my dad looked like Richard Petty. My dad was a truck driver, and he disappeared. So I was like, it might be my dad. My dad always wore cowboy hats and stuff. I was like, might be him. He hadn't been home for like 3 months.
You got a better chance at Ricky Bobby, buddy.
Yeah, he looks more like him.
Final questions across the board, guys. And I know it's crazy to think about this. The racing season's starting to wind up a little bit. We still have a couple months left, but it's going to go quick, as you know, with football season and everything else coming. The weather chillies up, and things go quicker and quicker towards Christmas. I'm sorry,
last night I'm kind of looking forward to the weather chilling. I was like, I could not get a good temperature to not just be sweating profusely.
Cut the hair.
I can't now.
He does. He cuts it on top, just not in the back.
I thought that was the hair.
God's cutting it on top.
Yeah, God's helping you out.
So what are some of the goals that you guys have individually? Obviously, Jim, it's different for you. What are the goals that you have finishing up this season personally and for your cars and just for racing? Corey, we'll start with you.
I don't know. Like I said, I got like an average 4th place finish. I'm okay with that. That's about 12 places better than I figured it would be when I first started this thing.
He's got a win coming.
Yeah. So like I had a pretty good heat race yesterday. I don't know how good. Yeah. So when anybody asks me like how'd it go, I go off of Jim's reaction completely. Like if he's like, nah, I'm like, all right, I sucked. It was something was bad. But if he's like tipping his cap, I'm like, all right, I must have had a pretty good gap between me and everybody else.
That was a good heat race.
And I was just, but Bobby, the 33 car, his mom walked in. She's like, you and Bobby start on the front together. I go, you tell Bobby to enjoy that lead till turn 2. That's exactly where I took it. I go, yeah, Babe Ruth you, Bobby. I called my shot on that one. I was like, I took it in turn 2, and I never heard an engine after that. So I figured I was doing pretty good. And then of course, we get Jim's reaction. I'm like, all right. Everybody's like, how'd it go? I'm like, Jim said it went pretty good, according to what his reaction. And I don't know. Of course, I want to progress, of course. But for where I'm at now, I'm happy with that. Like I said, I averaged 4th place finish. I didn't think it would be. I thought 10th place in my career average finish would be good for me. But I don't know. I just look forward to going out and seeing everybody. Like I said, Teddy was one of the first people to, he kind of, when you asked me told me about the stagger tape and everything, introduced me to Hoon. Because, like I said, you were probably like, hey, you got to come see this dipshit in the back. It's a pretty wild show back here, dude. You got to come see this guy. He don't know what the hell he's doing. He don't know anything about nothing. I asked him what his stagger was. He looked at me like a cow staring at a new gate, man. He's just like,
cow staring at a new
When you
gate.
come up with these things?
hillbilly, man.
I guess. Man,
That's a Crestviewism if I've ever heard it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Cressy, we always got like made fun of because score a touchdown, they fire a cannon off, and then you'd hear all the cows move.
Yep.
And if you had a good swing on a baseball, you'd hit a cow in the ass too out in the outfield.
Get a steak. It's like Bull Durham.
Yeah. So yeah, I appreciate everybody that like Teddy just kind of showed me some of the ropes there. I just like it when people point out how stupid I am. It's awesome. Rules.
Like your brake line.
Yeah, that'll get changed for next year, maybe. I don't know.
It
was
brake
like that
line
when I bought the car off.
rubs on the header. It
was like that when I bought it off of Tim Stillion. So I figured. Now, I know everybody. You probably like Tim Stillion. He probably might have thrown it together. I don't know, but
I don't know.
I assumed if it worked for him, it's good enough for me.
Oh, that was my brother's car, so I don't even know.
Yeah, I'll fix it since it's been brought up.
You don't need brakes.
Yeah, I know.
I raced
it's the left front.
Huh?
It's the left front.
You know.
I don't use them very much.
My red car didn't have brakes when I first started.
Okay, that's good.
Unreal.
So we can just take the line off and plug it.
There you go.
Guys are wild, man. Tammy Sadler Mix says Corey looked good last night. He's definitely improving. Thumbs up. Thumbs up.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Teddy, what are some goals for you heading into the final stretch?
Actually, 2 weeks ago, I started running my dwarf car with the Mod Lakes. I just got a little 750, and I'm running with the thousands, and I mean, it's probably the most fun I've had all year. I've been able to keep up with them, and I mean, they're in our heat race last night. I was running second for quite a while. It took a while for Doug Stanley and Jason DeRocha and them to get by me. It wasn't easy for them.
You were blocked them.
Hey, whatever works. But yeah, I mean, it's just having fun the rest of the season and getting ready for 2022. I ordered another brand new Mod Light.
Oh, wow.
So I'll have that ready for 2022, hopefully, and see where it goes.
Awesome. Congratulations. Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Jim, different question. I mean, it's the same question, but I'm sure a different answer for you.
What am I looking forward to?
Yes, sir. What are some goals you have?
My biggest goals I would like to see get done is to get our the light poles up.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to work on the infield. We have water issues on the track every week I have to deal with, and it's really bad. Last night we got them under control. I need help or volunteers or whatever to get the track, the infield, we're going to take the top coat off the grass and we're going to push the clay out. My goal was to push the clay out onto the track and give it more banking in the corners and the straightaways, but get the water to flow so I don't have to deal with water every week. And then the pits, opening the pits up more. That's our big goals. And grandstands, of course, we need grandstands. We did order a set. They're on national back order. So, and they're expensive one section. We would like to get some bigger sponsors next year, maybe to even purchase some grandstands or help us out. We definitely need sponsors for next year.
So if somebody wants to get involved, how do they do that?
Just contact us through goodsraceway@gmail.com. You can message us on Facebook. My number, my personal number is the track number, so they can text me or give me a call at 330-612-6952.
There you go. Easiest way to get involved right there. And sponsors, if you're out there and you're looking for people that actually care, they want this to succeed, you don't have to look further than Goods Raceway. So hopefully you're out there and you're able to, you were moved a little bit today. And you're out to go out and check out a race. Go out and check out a Saturday night at Goods Raceway, and understand that it's these drivers, it's these people, it's these fans that make it so special each and every Saturday night. Gentlemen, it was an absolute honor meeting you and talking with you. I wish you nothing but the best. And any way we can help, we absolutely will. So there's Teddy, we got Jim, and we got Corey. Corey, you want to put a bow on it? Any Coreyisms?
Thanks for tuning in. I gave enough this week. Stay tuned for next week to hear more.
There it is. There it is. That's how you tie a bow, buddy. That's going to do it for today's In the Driver's Seat. 2 weeks from now. Next week is a holiday. We don't come in on holidays, except if you're Corey Renforth. We will see you 2 weeks from now on In the Driver's Seat right here on your sports network. Thanks for tuning in.